Hey YouTube, I just wanted to give you a little note here. Recently I've gotten 2 comments onto my videos that had a bad word in them, or actually you guys would probably call it a cuss word, because it's not as bad as a bad word.
April 13th, 2011. 12 years ago. Just 15 days shy of the channel being 1 year old. Wow. Long time ago. Lots happened since then. Some good, some bad. Recently, the core values of my comments section have been tested in a good way. To summarize that minute and 54 long video in better, less rambly words, I want my comment section to be clean. I mean, for me, in a way, yes. Especially back then, since I was a lot more naive and young and not as tainted by a lot of the stuff that I would end up seeing. And I've become desensitized to some of this stuff. Although I still try and avoid, some of it. Back then I was really like, oh, this guy or gal or whoever, they're swearing, I'm going to watch something else. But now I look at the video I'm watching and the content I'm consuming from other people as a whole, and, it depends on each situation. That's a whole nother video. But for my comment section, I do try and keep the comment section clean, and I have every video set to have, so I have to approve all the comments. I need to fix some of the old videos that have been set to no comments. I'm working on that, guys, yes, but I try and keep them clean, but not sterile, not perfectly happy. The example that I've used, I don't remember if I used it in that video, but I know I've used it a few times since then, is, if you hate my video, that's fine. If you think that I'm the worst person ever, and you hate my guts, and the video is terrible, and you never want to see me or anything else again, that's fine. That's not necessarily constructive criticism. You could say what you don't like about the video, and then, so I know what to do to improve for next time, but then again, maybe you're someone that just can't be helped. But that's fine. It gets not good, and towards the I won't approve your comment, well, if it's a little too graphic in violent depictions about things, like, I actually kind of went on the edgy side of things when I did the whole I Hate Cool Shows 101 thing, which I think that channel's still out there, actually. And that, if you don't know what that was me pretending to be someone who hated me. And yeah, you'll have to go look it up if you want to know more. But yeah, if it gets too graphic in the depictions of the violence and how much you hate me and what you want done, yeah, sure. And I mean, there are, like, if I was playing a game that could change the context of things, context is really big, too much to cover in this video. But the very, very important thing is, I hate you, this is the worst video ever, you did everything wrong, Cool Shows 101 is terrible, you should leave YouTube. That's fine. But if I bleeping hate this video, I bleeping hate you, you're the bleepy bleep worst YouTuber ever, get off the bleeping YouTube platform. If you include swearing in there and crude humor, that's when I'm not going to approve your comment. This kind of language doesn't affect me as much, but I still don't want it in my comment section. It is not going to be approved. And if you're using it during live streaming, that one's always tough for me. I don't like telling people no, but I'm going to have to. This is my channel and my comment section. And so ultimately, it's going to be, I've had a few instances where I'm like, hey, we don't use that language around here, please and thank you. And I'll delete the comment and the live chat, and then if they continue, if they're repeat offenders, they'll get timeout or maybe completely being blocked or banned. I had to do that a few times for some people that were intentionally being very bad in my live chat section. I think they were on some Minecraft streams. Excuse me. So, yeah. But, you know, I want to give people second chances, and so if you leave language in my comments, I'm not going to approve it. Sometimes I really want to respond to the comment, so I've said something like, hey, I don't like the language in my comments, but blah blah blah, here's my response to your thing. There's been a few times where I have approved a comment just long enough for them to hopefully see my response, and then I deleted it afterwards. It was like I gave them about 24 hours or so, and then I deleted it. And I said I was going to delete it unless they changed language or something. I wish YouTube would give us an option to be able to respond to comments without letting the public see them. I think that would be so valuable, especially for my use case. That is a very big thing. Now on to the meat and potatoes of this video. Oh, and I need to specify crude humor really quickly, or being crude in general. Crude is not equal to rude. Because, you know, crude kind of falls along crude language, and, you know, I bleeping hate this channel, and I bleeping hate you, and get off bleeping YouTube. Yeah, that's where it gets crude, and crude can also be a bathroom joke that I'm not going to tell. Different things like that I don't want in my comments either, and there has to be a differentiation between the two. Because again, if you think my video is absolute garbage trash, I'll approve your comment, but once you make it crude and you include swearing, or we're talking about bathroom humor, yeah. And again, context matters. Because, you know, if I ever did... This is something that happened when one of the people was being mean or crude in my livestream comments section. It's related to that. I'm not going to explain what it was, but, you know, if I ever did a video on, like, health and wellness or something, some of the stuff that could end up in that video could touch on things that, you know, could be turned into crude jokes and things. And so if we're not talking about it, if I ever did that for whatever reason, and the comments are not just to be funny and crude, then they would probably be approved. You know, talking about health and being healthy. I don't want to say it, because this is not that video. But if I did, there is that. So as long as you're not crude, your comment is going to get approved. Okay, this is the moment that tested the core values of my comments section and really got me thinking, but in some good ways. So first we have @real_buttons. Eating all those peppers gives off real big guy energy. As you can see here, this is from my trying 7 hot peppers video. Now, I approved this comment. This has been up there since 2 weeks ago. When I read this comment, you know, I didn't really think much about what big guy energy meant. I just assumed it meant doing things bigger than you might normally do. Things bigger than you. The best example that I can give, if you've ever seen Chronicles of Narnia, think about all of the amazing things that Reepicheep did that are, well, bigger than him. Bigger than his physical size is. That's a fictional kind of extreme example, but think like that. I just, you know, and I thought, oh, so they're complimenting me for doing some things bigger than me. Cool. So, the test came when this was posted. At Alicia Kid 7940. Not knowing how popular chili and hot sauce content is, then deciding to say something to attempt to insult a stranger while showing off their own self-insecurity gives off real moron and proud energy. So first I'm going to clarify here, we said moron. I don't think that's crude, it is rude, but it's not crude. I haven't approved this comment yet, because there's a few things here. First of all, something that I didn't even think about. Whether or not I approve this comment could be the deciding factor of whether or not an argument starts. Now, I'm okay with arguments in my comment section. I mean, I would like it if people would be nice and friendly to each other and try and have more of a healthy discussion. But if arguments are going to happen, as long as people aren't being crude, that's fine. You can be rude all you want, as long as you're not crude. Which, the Alicia Kid 7940, I don't think they were necessarily being crude. But maybe possibly a little rude, and maybe real_buttons was being a little rude too. But again, the whole argument thing, it's like, ooh, do I want to? Because I don't necessarily like fighting and arguing, and I'm not a person that likes to say no. I'm slowly getting more confident in being able to say no, or please don't do that, or having my say in things. But yeah, there was just the thought of this now going forwards. I have full control over whether an argument starts out, but I just thought of this just now. It's not really my fault for the argument starting. I didn't really start it, I allowed it to happen, but that's right in line with allowing people to voice their opinions about my videos as long as they're not crude. And it would have happened anyways if I didn't have my comments on such a tight control, which I don't think most people are, which I was going to mention this earlier, but I forgot. But please, if it's not already available to me and everyone, YouTube, you already know it's a good thing. Please allow the channel comment guidelines or rules or whatever. You know that thing that pops up on some channels when you're new there and says, hey, follow YouTube's terms of service and rules, and also follow these rules by the creator. I desperately want that, because then I can specify this, and I don't have to worry if people saw my 12 years old video, or even this video, or excuse me, the time that I mentioned this in between these two, because I mentioned it a few times. So, I'm just gonna say, okay, arguments are approved. Whatever. You guys hash it out. I'll approve it. I'm worried for the day when I'm gonna have to review lots and lots and lots of comments and approve them, and part of me is like, maybe I might just choose to allow them all, but go through and filter the ones that are bad, because, you know, you can probably see that stuff somewhere else on the internet, and I don't know, one step at a time. Maybe by then I'll have a girlfriend or a wife who can be a really good assistant and help with that. But anyways, back to this though, it then really got me thinking, big guy energy, okay, maybe that is rude or crude. So I looked up some stuff online, and I asked a few friends, and one friend had a good description of it. Big guy energy is a way of saying something that I'm not going to say here because it is crude. And she says, to say big guy energy is the nicer way. I don't think the comment was meant to be unkind. I thought he was being celebratory and complimentary. So... someone with big guy energy, although they used a different word, is someone with relaxed confidence in themselves. They're not shy or quiet, but they're not arrogant either. And they're certainly not overcompensating for anything. I think that was safe to read here. And so big guy energy is the G-rated way to say the other thing that I'm not going to say, because it is crude. So I really appreciate that. And by the way, this is my friend Mariah, I will say. She's the one where I was at the family home evening and I got a video of us singing Just Give Me a Reason. She's a really awesome person. I am glad to have made her as a friend. Anyways, so that ultimately got me thinking, because also the question, maybe I just delete real_buttons comment altogether and it all just vanishes in a poof. They never knew anything, and the other person, and I don't know, and maybe, you know, it could come back where they're like, hey, what happened to my comment? You know, stuff like that can happen. I'm probably going to run into some of that in the future, and I'll have to explain and be firm on my stance. But big guy energy. regardless of whether or not they're actually being rude, regardless of whether or not Real Buttons did intend it to be rude, and Alicia Kid 7940 is actually defending me from someone who was being mean and rude, I'm kind of feeling like it's not crude. I was a little on the fence about that, but then I thought about the word heck. And heck is a word that I'm comfortable using. I don't use it a lot, but I'm comfortable saying heck. And heck is actually a reference to, you know, the underworld. And I've said that word a few times, and that one can actually be used a lot more than other words in certain contexts. Like, you know, if I'm gonna complain about something, I'll say what the heck instead of HE double hockey sticks. But, you know, sometimes I travel through a nether portal to the nether in Minecraft, and the nether is literally Minecraft's version of hell. And Christians believe in a hell, whereas we call it outer darkness. There are ways to reference and use that word that don't bother me. But just using it as what the heck, but the other word, yeah, maybe. So I feel like Big Guy Energy is getting the approval because it's the G-rated version of saying the other thing, but I think it's a case where it's okay. Whereas there are some things where, you know, you could say the G-rated version, but then everyone would know what you mean, and I wouldn't approve it. I don't have an example for that right now, but I know that's a case that could happen. And then as far as Alicia Kid 7940 coming to my rescue when maybe it's not needed, I don't know, I'm going to approve that one. And I'm going to approve it right now. There you go. Comment has been approved. I am going to, what's the word? I am going to, like, type out a little thing, or probably I'll just say, hey, here's this. You guys should go watch it. Here's my stance on the whole thing. But now I'm going to turn this over to you guys for a second. If any of you guys think that Big Guy Energy is crude, if it's too directly related to the other thing, then I will ask, I can't see it here, but yeah, I will ask Real Buttons to, you know, change the wording a bit, maybe. We'll have to see. But if you think it's crude, if you think it's just directly related to the thing, and it's not as okay G-rated as heck is, versus talking about where Satan lives, which is hell, then let me know down in the comments below. I'm going to be weighing things somewhat considerably, but I think I've made the right decision here in this case. Feels a little awkward that it took this long, but here we are. So yeah, let me know if you guys think that Big Guy Energy is crude. And that's crude, not rude. You're welcome to let me know if you think that Real Buttons was being rude and insulting me too, but being rude and insulting isn't going to get his comment deleted from the comment section of my Trying 7 Hot Peppers video. And, you know, going forward, I'm looking forward to having a really great time reading your comments and moderating when necessary. And, you know, I think I may start, since I don't have the channel rules feature yet, maybe once I stop this, I'll check and see if it's there. If it is, problem solved. But if not, I think I'm going to start approving comments that are rude and then responding to them and saying, hey, I don't like crude language in... sorry, I said rude when I meant crude. I'll say, hey, I don't like crude language in my comment section. Can you please edit your comment to not include that? And I'll keep it up. Otherwise, it's getting removed within a certain amount of time. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you guys in whatever's next. I don't know, like if you liked. Notifications are the subscribe and the bell, but just me showing up in your feed is just watching. And if you watched till this point, thank you so much. You're helping my watch hours. That's the more important number that I need right now. I'll see you guys in whatever's next. Oh, and by the way, recorded on my ZVE1 as the webcam feature. That's cool. See you guys in whatever's next. Bye!